We are stronger and more resilient than we think. We each have the decision to either languish or rise above our setbacks. It's a choice. The decision to pull oneself out of despair and fear is a personal one we already know that we have control over. And if you don't know that you have control over it, I'm here to tell you that you do. You're stronger than you think. Everyone loves a hero, someone who brings hope to the hopeless, calmness to chaos, and safety to those who need it. Why not be that person for yourself? We are much stronger than our circumstances, and I believe that within each of us lives a superpower just waiting to be unleashed. We simply have to remind ourselves that we can access it. We can choose to access it and reach down and pull it to the surface. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman all started out without their capes or crowns, and so can we. When we awaken to the realization that we can become much stronger than we are in this moment, that awareness is so liberating. We discover that no longer must we remain hostages to self-sabotaging thoughts and to what bad things are happening around us. I have no idea where you are at this point in time or how you've handled this pandemic, but what I do know is that you are resilient. The fact that you're listening to me tells me that you're taking charge. That's a positive step. I believe that most of us came to a realization that nothing stays the same forever. That security, jobs, family, and nations on our very planet are fluid, and that anything can change suddenly, and for some, permanently. I don't want you to feel discouraged by these words. It's a reality we must accept, and doing so can and will help us to deal with this reality more effectively. Not all we've gone through and are going through is all bad. For instance, our planet did experience a reset when we stopped polluting it with our toxic chemicals. Breathing became easier for some, and the planet got a chance to live stronger, if only for a fraction of the moment. And some people have emerged stronger and healthier for having experienced COVID-19. Others not so much. Much of it came down to how they chose to get through the storm. At the helm of their ship, steering through it and adapting to the storm, or hiding in the back, praying that the nightmare would soon be over. Well, it appears it's clearing up. I pray that you're not one that has suffered too badly. You know, my work as a police detective in the Special Victims Unit, dealing with victims of sexual assault and child abuse, along with many other experiences I've had, including that of a peacekeeper in the Middle East during the Iraq War, has taught me a lot about human nature. I watched people choose strength over weakness, victory over defeat, and growth over fear as they played out the bad hand that they'd been dealt with, but refused to give in to the devil. I've seen how it is possible to rise above our circumstances, whatever they may be, with a sense of optimism and a boatload of determination. Over the years, I've seen two kinds of people. Those whose setbacks and misfortunes, such as cancer, divorce, loss of income, and security, opened them to an appreciation and awareness that they'd never had before. These individuals experienced an awakening, a new perspective on life, evolving into happier and stronger people for having experienced what they'd gone through. They saw these experiences as awakenings. And although they had once been broken in either body, heart, or finances, their experiences did not define them. They defined their experiences. On the other hand were those whose experiences led them into descent, a descent into darkness that brought them to their knees and that made them fear the future, regret the past, loathe and self-pity, and simply give up. The ones who chose to see doom and gloom in what happened did not always completely recover, but many do. Many come to the realization that sometimes things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Some came to the realization that what happened to them was not their fault. Understanding that they were not responsible for the bad things they'd gone through provided them with a sense of relief, a sense of acceptance that they didn't do anything wrong. Many were able to put the pieces of their lives back together, helping them and prompting them to find purpose and to carry on. But regrettably, those who chose to remain at the Poor Me Hotel became more bitter, more reactive, more angry, more cautious, more cynical, more anxious, and often more depressed. What, pray tell, was the difference between the survivors and the non-survivors? It comes down to awareness, choice, and action. I'm reminded of this serenity prayer by Reinhold Niebuhr, I think that's his name, who wrote, "God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." And remember what Paul Lennon and Paul McCartney wrote? Sometimes we just gotta let it be. But what if we do more than just let it be? What if we take control of our circumstances and remind ourselves that we are stronger than the adversities that come our way? To lose one's spirit is to lose one's hope. I've witnessed those who have crumbled in times of trouble and never recovered. They chose to live an unfulfilled life, barely existing, trying to remain safe yet happy. Don't be that person. For on the other side of that reality are those who choose to reinvent themselves despite their setbacks. These are the ones whose suffering was challenged and they picked themselves back up from the mat and experienced a rebirth. Life is going to hit us hard when we least expect it, as did COVID-19, and it is at these times that we must remind ourselves that we are greater than our circumstances. Put on that Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman cape and take on the world. You can do it.